Welcome to Guides.Global. My name's John Howell and I'm the editorial director. With me today I have Miguel Manzanares, the senior partner of Manzanares International lawyers based here in Marbella on the Costa del Sol in Spain. This is a short introduction to our guides about buying property for investment. Miguel, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
We have written, or more accurately, you have written, a guide to buying property in Spain, and there's also a guide to buying investment property in Spain, and we would commend those to the readers. We have also done a very long interview with you about the general process of buying property in Spain, and that's something we would recommend people to view as well. But for this little video, I just wanted to deal with a couple of points particularly relevant to investment property. A few years ago, 2007, 2008, basically the appetite for investment property in Spain just disappeared, didn't it, with the crash. And for several years, property just stagnated, there were no buyers, prices came down, 50%, some places 60, even 70%, not so much in Marbella. But that's now changed. We now have lots and lots of buyers coming back and buying investment property here.
Yeah, exactly. There is. We saw for a number of years actually that the appetite is really very much stronger. We can say that we have investors and groups, corporations coming from every corner of the world, looking to do real estate investments, and therefore we assisting them in the creation of the ideal legal structure within the process of the acquisition, of course.
Yes, and a lot of that investment, not all of it by any means, but a lot of it is some way related to tourism. And tourism as well is an area which the Spanish are very confident about for the future. A few years ago, people started to look at places other than Spain. They went to places like Turkey and Egypt and Tunisia and so on, because it looked cheaper and because it was a bit more exotic, and they knew Spain well, but they didn't know those places. But many of those countries are now looking a little bit more difficult. And so tourism here, we think, is going to be a growing industry, and that's going to lead to even more property investment in Spain.
Yeah, this part of Spain in general, but this is part of Spain leading that growth is really beating the record every year after year. So for 2 consecutive years we've been beating the record of Spain with respect of the number of tourists visiting Spain. Spain, and this part of Spain especially, has a very strong residential tourism,
yes,
which is a tourism that is not really for visitors, that they have a hotel, they go back, and next year they may decide to go somewhere else. The very most of the visitors, of the tourists that we have in this area of Spain, they own their own property, and or they really like to rent a property for a longer time. This is really creating opportunities for investors. This is really making that the capital growth is important, because there is a very strong circulation all year round. This is important. This is not an area of Spain that we have a seasonal tourism.
6 weeks or whatever.
No, it's not really something that we close the windows and we lock the doors
yes,
on October, and we clean up the properties again on April. So it's not working like that. It's all year round. This is really important and has become a destination for residential tourism, and it's been seen by many investors like an opportunity for capital growth, because the whole world is looking at this part of Europe to buy a property, and also is strong about the rentals.
Yes.
Renting out a property is a good opportunity as well, because you have the whole year to be able to rent out your property, and not just specifically for a summer holiday.
Yes, and of course, if you are thinking of investing in property in Spain, there's one message to remember, isn't there? And that is, this is a business. You're in it to make money. And so when you're buying the property, you need to be doing extra due diligence to make sure that this is a property you're going to be able to rent, that you're going to be able to get good rental values, that everything about it is right, rather than just hoping that everything will turn out for the best.
Absolutely. It's important that to identify which one is the best legal structure to buy these properties. You could be, from a tax point of view, very efficient, or from a tax point of view, very inefficient. So first thing we need to ask is if the property is bought with intention of selling, with intention of renting it out, and therefore we can build up the best legal structure to be tax efficient. And yeah, that's really one of the most important steps to be taken.
Yes. Miguel, thank you. I hope that snippet's been of interest. We have a much fuller written guide to buying investment property in Spain, prepared by Miguel and his team. We also have both a written and video guide to buying general property in Spain, and we also have a video about buying investment property. Hope you think it's worthwhile looking at all of those. If you like this video, as always, like it or follow us, and whether you do that or not, we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you and goodbye.